Hi! Welcome to Luxury in Moderation, where we appreciate the finer things in life without going overboard. Today I wanted to do more of a fun video, so don't take this too seriously. This is more of a tongue-in-cheek impression and my personal observations of the different kinds of people who would buy an Hermes Birkin, or Kelly or Constance, any of the quota bags. So again, this is just for fun, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be brutally honest when it comes to my observations or just some of my thoughts. I have 5 different personalities or maybe stereotypes that I have just jotted down some notes on, and I thought we would have some fun today. So before we get started, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Joanne, and every week I upload videos about luxury handbags and other luxury lifestyle products. So if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like this video and subscribe below. Let's start off with the first category of personality that I consider myself, and I'm going to be very honest about my own motivations and open myself to maybe ridicule, but I want to be transparent, and that's a category I call the luxury lover. So for me, I've talked a lot on this channel of what I consider are true luxury qualities. That includes the quality of the product, the heritage, and all of those things. But actually, for me, the thing that attracts me the most to a brand or a product like the Birkin is exclusivity. So I really prize being a little bit different, being maybe in an in-group. I think that's a very natural thing for all humans to want, that we'd like to feel included. So that was a really big, if not the most important motivating factor when I learned about the Birkin and wanted to really have one for myself. So I really wanted to get a Birkin directly from an Hermes boutique because it does add a level of exclusivity that a lot of people around the world don't get access to. So that's why I really wasn't interested in getting a Birkin on the secondhand market or from a reseller, because really if you have the resources to purchase, you can get a Birkin that way, but then you don't get that like seal of approval from the Hermes brand that you would if you walk into a store. And I know a lot of people might think that's stupid and they're like, why do I need an approval from the brand? I'm the customer. But for me, again, because I like the exclusive factor of luxury brands and being able to set myself apart from other people, I wanted to go through the whole boutique process, and that came with its own difficulties. I don't think it's the most enlightened way to think about luxury brands, or maybe not even the healthiest, because then you kind of get obsessed with like playing the game. But I'm honestly just sharing, my thoughts and how I wanted to go about at least getting my very first Birkin. So this luxury lover, like myself, is really subjecting themselves to the Hermes approval system, right? Like you have to walk into the boutiques and be judged by the way you are dressed. You can clearly see some sales associates looking you up and down to check if you are worthy of a quota bag. And then after playing some games with you, then they ultimately give you their stamp of approval by offering you this quota bag. So it's not the easiest way to get a quota bag. And again, a lot of people think that's really silly. But for me, I like the fact that not everyone can just walk into a boutique and get a Birkin. It has to be offered some type of criteria that is dictated by the brand or the store manager or even just the sales associate that sets the experience of getting a quota bag from Hermes apart. And that's something that I do admire in a luxury company. The second category of people who want to buy Hermes Birkins and quota bags are what I first started calling quality admirers, but more specifically, they're Hermes quality admirers. So what do I mean by this? First, they have really dug into the Hermes history and really admire the heritage and craftsmanship that Hermes has to offer. So for example, they might have bought an Hermes scarf to begin their Hermes journey or experience with, because Hermes is very known for their scarves and their silk pieces, and it is a lower price point than their bags, so it makes sense to be one of the first products these Hermes quality admirers would want to have experience with. I'm not one of these people because this scarf, which I am wearing as a top today, is actually one of the most recent purchases that I bought from Hermes. And honestly, that's because I think it's very high priced for what it is. However, these Hermes quality lovers not only see the quality of the material, of the silk, and of the print, they also know that Hermes has been doing scarves for a long time, is known in this area, so they are willing to pay that higher price point because it has that extra heritage value attached to the product. This Hermes quality admirer has probably also bought from a wide variety of the Hermes maisons. For example, they have fashion, they have the twillies that I'm wearing as a headpiece today. They probably also have experience with their home pieces. And not only do they have experience with all of these pieces, they know the quality that each of these pieces offer. I'm not one of these people because I'm actually still always surprising myself with the quality that Hermes offers. For example, when I bought my Hermes pillow, I was very surprised at how soft and poofy it was. Same thing for the Hermes blanket, very surprised at how soft and tight-knit the blanket is. And even my Hermes mosaic plate, which I've had for a while, but now that I've had it on my desk and I'm actually feeling, the texture of the little mosaic pieces every day, I'm finding that I love, that extra attention to detail with the raised little mosaic tiles. So I'm continuing to learn about the amazing quality in all of the Hermes pieces. And the Hermes quality admirer isn't interested in just obtaining a Birkin or a quota bag from the boutiques. They're also interested in buying them from the secondhand market, and especially for vintage pieces, which might be even more interesting to this Hermes quality admirer, because there are some heritage leathers that Hermes does not make anymore that you can only get in the vintage market. So a couple examples of this type of person would be Purse on Fleek and GPS. They have so much knowledge of the brand that they're willing to share. I've certainly learned a lot from them, and I hope to one day have as much experience. The third type of people that are buying Birkin bags are the bag collectors. So of course, there are a large number of bag collectors that are especially interested in buying Birkins and Kellys these days, as it is very in fashion to be a part of the Hermes world right now, especially since the Chanel price increases, the LV price increases. Not only are these bag collectors really motivated to step up their game and get into the Hermes bags, but they are also very trend driven. They are most likely to get their bags from any means necessary, whether it's from the boutique, from the reseller, or from the secondhand market. They would like to be part of this trend right now as it is in vogue. And they're probably also really interested in getting a mini Kelly because that's the most chic bag right now from not only the Hermes world, but I think all bags right now, because all the influencers have the little mini Kelly and it's very fashionable to have it in their collection right now. For me personally, the mini Kelly is way too small. I realize I don't really like small bags because they don't tend to fit even my essentials when I've pared it down to just my keys, wallet, and maybe one other thing. I don't even think that the mini Kelly can fit all that. But certainly this is a bag that the bag collector really covets right now, and they'll probably buy it on the secondhand market, sell some of their other bags, and then once the mini Kelly or other Hermes bags aren't super hyped up anymore, they will probably go ahead and sell these bags probably at a profit again in order to get the next trending bag. So I think this kind of bag collector would probably try to buy an Hermes Bastia coin purse first because they're used to buying little SLGs from luxury brands, and also it is a great way to learn about the Hermes leathers and colors. The next group of people who buy Birkins and Kellys are old money. So the reason why they buy Hermes bags and Hermes things is because it's all they've ever known. They grew up with luxury brands all around them, and their parents probably carried Hermes, Birkins, and Kellys. So they grew up with this caliber of bag. They've probably been to boutiques since they were kids as their parents were shopping. They've known the essays for years and years and probably have relationships everywhere. So it's not hard for them to obtain bags from the boutiques. And I'm sure different rules apply to this group of people as well. So they can probably get more quota bags bags than just 2. They have also purchased from all of the Hermes ateliers. They probably spend a good amount on ready-to-wear shoes and accessories, and they can probably continue to have that really close relationship with their SA and boutique. And there's no pretense there because the SAs know that this family has money to spend and they're not in it just for the bag. And in all honesty, Hermes probably does obtain a lot of their revenue from this group of people. I, of course, am not part of that world and have no idea how much this old money group spends with the brand, but certainly every year I know this group spends many hundreds of thousands with Hermes, and it's certainly their core clientele. Of course, in order to be coveted and be labeled as a luxury brand, Hermes must appeal to the non-moneyed crowd because they need to have people who want but cannot necessarily obtain a Birkin or Kelly at that price point. But at the end of the day, a lot of their sales do come from that old wealthy family. And finally, the last group of people who might be buying Birkins and Kellys are the new money crew, or what I like to call the status chaser. So like I said, these are newly rich clientele, so they don't care how they get their Birkin or Kelly, they just want one. So they can buy from resellers from huge markups, and I'm not quite sure if they do have to play the Hermes game in boutiques, although they certainly could if they wanted to. They could go in and spend and then be offered a Birkin or Kelly from a boutique any day they want. And they don't have to ever resell or let go of their bags because they don't need the money. So I do think that the Hermes is a status symbol in our day and age. Why else would Kanye West buy each of his new girlfriends many thousands of dollars of Birkins to make a point? He bought 5 Birkins at once, and now it's come out that he's bought another rare skin Birkin for his new girlfriend. So these people, they want to make a statement with the money that they have, and one of the first things that they do is fill their closets with Birkins. The Kardashians are no different. They also post closets full of Birkins, and they want to show off that they have this new money, and a rare Birkin is the perfect epitome of their new status in the world. So what did you guys think about my categories and observations? What would you have added and seen in your own experience? I would love to hear. As I mentioned, there is such a huge focus on Hermes these days, with the bag collectors migrating from other brands and new money really wanting to make a statement. How would you describe your interest in the Hermes quota bags? I'd love to see your comments below. If you like this kind of content, please remember to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!